Hello, everybody. Now we are adding in a kind of villain, a bad guy that will be waiting for us and be looking and watching. And if it ever gets close to us or we get close to it, then it's going to pounce on us. So this is what I call the waiting enemy. It's waiting and watching. Maybe a watching enemy? I don't know. I'll workshop that. Let me know what you think. I'll show you what it looks like, though. These are these rocks up here, and if I get too close, oh, the rock falls down. And I haven't programmed in the collision, because it's annoying to test, but eventually I'd like to have it. Oh, that was kind of weird. I had some, oh yeah, I forgot I get the gun. I'd like to have a collision where I take damage when the rock falls on top of me, and then it kind of sits there being an obstacle, which is a bit of a challenge. So this is kind of a classic thing in a platformer game. So let's take a look and see how we did it. First of all, I have made, the zoom is so hard. The zoom is so hard. I've made some placeholders where I can spawn in. So you know what that means. I'm going to be using the for element loop. And I'm doing that in my place enemies. You probably saw me make the snake before, so I've just added in that same function. A similar piece of code where I get an array of all this particular kind of locations, and I make a rock. And the rock has a different kind than the snake, so that I can animate them differently. Well, animate might not be the right word. Control them differently, I suppose. And then I place them, and I get rid of the ugly placeholder because it just don't look good. So this doesn't look a lot different than anything we've done so far. And then how do I get it to, check to see if it's falling? So very much like the snake, inside of the same forever loop, in fact, I have a little bit of code where I am using the for element loop to look for an array of sprites of kind rock. That's where the type matters. Now, I'm using this call distance between this function, and I've written that as something that finds the distance between these two sprites, value being any rock sprite, and my sprite being my hero sprite. How you make this is something that I'll cover in the next video. Actually, I have a video of someone else who did a really good job of explaining it. Probably went into more detail than necessary, but I think it'll be really good. So if you want to do something similar, you can watch that video and grab that idea. It's basically just the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between these two sprites. And if that is, if that distance is less than 30, and you can play with that value, whatever you think, then I tell the rock to fall, basically, by giving it a vertical acceleration. So that's how that's working. So do check out the next video so you can see how it is that you make the distance between. But hopefully that gives you kind of an idea, like between the snake and between the falling rock, how is it that you can make a whole bunch of enemies that are all being puppeteered, animated isn't quite the right word I want to look for, but are being controlled by some kind of algorithm that is constantly sort of updating and checking and seeing, what its value should be. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you come up with interesting things to do with this code, not just recreate it, but also kind of make your own ideas. Okay? Thanks, everybody.